Group of bikers in Baghdad is trying to end sectarian rifts in Iraq, and the route to the solution is to never speak about politics.
Capturing the attention of Baghdad's highway drivers. And with their big motorcycles and black leather outfits, the Iraq bikers hope to heal sectarian rifts. Only a few have expensive Harley-Davidsons. Others ride bikes styled like machines from the 60s film Easy Rider. 42-year-old Bilal Al-Bayati founded the Bikers Club in 2012. Government employees wanted to improve the image of biker gangs and promote unity.
جمع الأخوة والإنسانية وتغيير نظرة المجتمع لهاي الدراجة. تدري بالغرب عندهم تجارة مخدرات، قتل، غيرها. احنا عندنا غيرنا هاي الوجهة، والدليل انه جمهورنا الموجود وعددنا الأكبر بالشارع اللي يمشي، وبالدول العربية والأجنبية مشاركاتنا انه احنا ناس مع القانون مع الدولة.
Iraq has undergone years of sectarian violence, and because of this, the club's #1 rule is you don't talk about politics.
ممنوع منعا باتا داخل الفريق أي شخص أو أي عضو يتكلم موضوع السياسة. أول ما يتكلم موضوع السياسة راح ينذر مرة مرتين، بعد ذلك ينطرد من الفريق، لأن خلاص احنا ما عندنا بعد حيل انه نتحمل هاي المآسي واللي نرجع عليها بعد. لا.
Speaking about the violence, Al-Bayati says there's no patience for it in the club. With a black bandana and goatee, leader of the Baghdad pack, known as Captain, looks like any American biker. But this gang flies the Iraqi flag high. The Iraqi bikers includes men of all ages, classes and religions. The group also includes the police and even the popular mobilization forces. The bikers have to handle everyday issues, the same as all other drivers in Baghdad, including slowing down at military checkpoints set up to prevent suicide attacks and car bombs. But that doesn't deter the gang, which now holds a membership of 380 bikers.
Extreme violence on the streets across Sudan and calls for the president to step down. What started as protest action against increasing food prices has escalated into Omar Al-Bashir must go protests. At least 20 people have lost lives since the start of the demonstrations, though there are conflicting figures coming from whoever it is you speak to. There's a question about Omar Al-Bashir. Will he be pressurized to step down? Protests continued overnight on Tuesday, and journalists are also being targeted, with some foreign correspondents kicked out of the country. For an update on the developments in Sudan, we're joined on Skype by correspondent Patrick Oye. It's very good to have you with us. I believe you are in Abuja. Tell us what you are hearing about the violence and the protests on the street.
Yes, thank you very much. Actually, I am in Juba, closer to Sudan. And, of course, we are seeing still demonstrations going on in Sudan. What is surprising is the fact that this demonstration has gone on for a month plus. There have been demonstrations before in the Sudan, but these demonstrations would last for less than a week, and the demonstrators would actually be dispersed by the security personnel. The security personnel in the Sudan are known for being very, very repressive to any voice which is opposed to the regime, and that is this Omar Al-Bashir's government. But this is surprising because these demonstrations have gone on for a month plus, and of course people have been killed. But even the killing of these people is not deterring others from coming to the streets to demonstrate. And as you rightly say, the demonstration started as a demand for prices
tell
of
us
bread
what's different this time, do you think? I mean, have people just had enough? Where do they get the confidence from? I mean, he's not really a man that you'd want to mess with.
I think that there are a lot of things that are now different. One of them is, of course, the economic situation. You know, the issue of bread or the issue of fuel is just a small issue that people are putting across. The bigger issue is that war is still going on in the Sudan, in the Southern Blue Nile, in Darfur. War is going on. The government, therefore, spends lots of money on funding that war. Therefore, you find that the economic situation is really, really very tough for the population. People say you go to the ATM, you want to get some money, money is not there. You go to hospital, they want money to be paid in cash, you don't have the cash. So the situation is the one forcing people now. People have no any other option other than go to the streets and call on Omar al-Bashir to just leave. So
okay, and where do you think this leaves Omar al-Bashir? I mean, he's in Qatar at the moment, speaking to the emir there, and I'm just wondering what he's hoping to get from them. I know that what's happening in Darfur is on the cards. And how do people feel about him leaving the country when this is going down?
People are actually desperate. Some people even saying they wish he would not come back. But the issue is that if this demonstration, if the situation in Sudan now happened 7 years ago, perhaps Bashir would have already been out of power. But the dynamics have changed now. For example, the sanctions against Sudan have been lifted. 7 years ago, Omar al-Bashir was needed by the International Criminal Court. Of course, it's still needed up to now. But the pressure from the international sector is not as big as it used to be 7 years ago. If this demonstration
what has changed? Because the allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity haven't changed. So what sort of a geopolitical role do you think Sudan is playing at the moment in order for countries to remain silent?
What Bashir will have to do is one of the things that he is doing now. He's gone to Doha, possibly to try to look for some funds to improve the economic situation, which any sensible government would want to do. Another option, which would remain, of course, is for him to use the forces the way he has been using. And this time, the use of the force is actually not working. So he is left with very little option. The only viable option is to improve the economic situation, and hopefully people will go back to their homes and continue with their businesses. Without that, the way things are looking, it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the people at this time are willing to just fear the security personnel and go back home.
And you mentioned the use of force. There are claims of live ammunition being used. Discrepancy in how many people have been killed. Activists say at least 40. I mean, how far do you think the protesters are prepared to push this?
The protesters are really prepared to push because ever since the protests began, people are being killed, and the protesters still come to the street and they still make their demand. They make it clear. So this is just an indication that people are fed up. And as I said before, the issue which also makes this demonstration surprising to many is that it's all over the country.
Okay, let me ask you this quickly, because sorry, we're running out of time. Do you think he is able to turn it around? I mean, if he gets some help from Qatar, or is there somebody else waiting in the wings who is ready to take over, and would they have the following to take over?
It's difficult to say that it will make the changes. The history of Sudan itself is of course characterized by military coups. Maybe some group who are close to him will sacrifice him by taking over power and pretend like, you know, we have made changes. And at the end of the day, we know that the issues of coups still don't bring any much change. He himself came to power by a military coup. Maybe he will make the reforms and people will go back to their homes. Maybe he will step down, a far-fetched perhaps. So all this, but what is also making people to do this is because of the National Congress Party, which is a party that he leads, changing the constitution to allow him again to contest in 2020. He has already been in power for close to 30 years. So people are seeing like there's no end to this, even if we give him a chance. And people are saying, he has been promising to reform, but we don't see any reform. So those are the things that are really...
Patrick Ayed, very good to talk to you from Juba in South Sudan. Now, hundreds of thousands of Ethiopian Orthodox Christians gathered in the capital Addis Ababa over the weekend to celebrate Epiphany. It's a festival commemorating the baptism of Jesus Christ. The colourful event, known locally as Timket, is one of the oldest and most significant religious gatherings in Ethiopia.
Priests carrying replicas of the Ark of the Covenant, the box built by the prophet Moses to house the Ten Commandments, are leading processions of singing and dancing worshippers. Every year, the arks travel from the 20,000 Ethiopian churches in which they are kept to the festivities in the capital. Yet some are saying the three-day display of colour and sound can't match the glamour of the past.
Timket was more special when I was a boy. People from all sorts of cultural backgrounds would attend the festival and everything on display was amazing. That rich culture is gradually fading away.
But for others, the event still holds a special attraction. Yet Al-Bashir has convinced her doctor to check her out of hospital in time for the event.
Timket has a special place in my Christianity. It's the reason why we baptise girls 80 days after they're born and boys at 40 days old. It's a very special day for me. I had to get my doctor's permission to leave hospital just to attend this.
Timket is a major tourist attraction for those anxious to get a glimpse of traditional Ethiopian life. It also gives visitors a chance to spend the night with the Arks of the Covenant. Ethiopia is one of the oldest Christian nations in the world.
That's our show for tonight. Your international weather's next, and I'll see you at 9 with the news.